Mr. Birol, thank you very much for this interview. We are here in Davos and we're discussing the global risks. But my question to you is, what are the things that keep you up at night, that you worry about, that they're going to make a major, can be a major events in this year, 2020?
I think when we look at the year 2020, there are, of course, as usual, there are many risks we are facing. But if I have to pick up two of them, in terms of oil markets, I see oil markets are well supplied, and we have seen many geopolitical incidents and tensions within the last 1 year. But the oil prices remain robust around $65, which is, I think, good for the global economy. But when I look at the 2020 in terms of oil markets, my concern is around Iraq. Iraq is the second largest oil producer in OPEC after Saudi Arabia, and producing today about 5 million barrels per day. And we all know that within Iraq, around Iraq, there are serious geopolitical tensions, and I hope that the country's oil production will continue to flow in a stable way. This is my perhaps
Worry about the disruption to Iraq supplies.
definitely as a result of the tensions we are seeing and the country's stability. Iraq's stability, political stability, is very important for the oil markets and beyond that for the global economy. The second one is, of course, as we all know, the environmental challenges. Climate change is a major topic in Davos, and we, as the energy community, need to respond to this challenge. And I know that my colleagues, including His Royal Highness Prince Abdulaziz, the Saudi government is very keen within the G20 to address this challenge, among others.
Since you mentioned prices, let me ask you about the OPEC Plus cuts. What are your views on those cuts? Do you think they are sufficient, and should they be extended?
Of course, it's up to OPEC and Russia and the others to decide what they are going to do. But when I look at the year 2020, at least the first half of 2020, looking at the supply and demand, I expect that there will be still at least 1 million barrels per day of surplus capacity in the market. So there will be a comfortable year for the markets. And I do not expect the prices to jump in the absence of any geopolitical surprises.
It was significant that the last time they decided to extend the cuts, they extended them for 3 months, not 6 months. Do you think this is as a result of some resistance from non-OPEC members, especially Russia?
I think there are many discussions within that group. I see that the discussions are sometimes vocal, sometimes not vocal. But I would believe that those countries, OPEC countries, including Saudi Arabia, making decisions and they consider the health of the global economy seriously. I have my all trust in the Saudi colleagues to make the right decisions.
But you expect that they might extend more because you said that the market is still oversupplied?
I really don't want to comment on that. It is up to them to decide what they want to do.
Let's change the topic, and I want to ask you about the op-eds that are written in international newspapers that the Middle East region is not strategically important for the United States anymore because of the oil output in the US. Do you agree?
I don't, because Middle East is and will remain the main oil exporting region for many years to come, providing oil and gas to Asia and elsewhere. And when we look at the engines of the global economy today, China, India, other Asian countries, they are getting their oil, their energy from Middle East, and as such, Middle East will be critical for the energy and for the global economy for many years to come.
But if we look at the US specifically, in which time horizon do you think they will be completely self-sufficient? Because now they still import the heavy crude for their refineries. So how long do you think does it require for them to be completely self-sufficient?
I think U.S. Energy markets, like the other energy markets around the world, will be affected from the international oil prices in any ways, whatever they produce, whatever they consume. And in today's world, there is no country, but no country is an energy island. So they are all affected from each other.
Let's talk about shale oil. What average price of oil do you think is needed by shale producers? And what is your view on the future of shale?
I think we start to see slowing down of the shale production in the United States. They will still grow, but the growth will be slower. And U.S. Continue to produce significant amount of shale oil, but the prices at these levels we are experiencing now should be enough to make the most of the, if not all, of the shale production profitable for the companies over there.
What do you think now is their price, the price that they need to continue investing?
I think, in my view, the current prices we are experiencing, about $65, would be enough for most of the basins there.
The hit that happened to the Saudi oil facilities, do you think it caused a volatility? But do you think that today the prices, do they have a premium, a geopolitical premium today factored in because of that hit, or it's behind us and you do not think that there is a geopolitical premium in the current prices?
There are two things. First of all, a geopolitical part should be there, but I think there is so much oil in the market that not only the terrorist attack on Saudi Arabia, but also Venezuela going out of the picture, the Iran as a result of sanction and not exporting or very little export today. The situation in Libya, as we talk now, they all were very important events, but the prices remain around $65. Not much change because there's a lot of. But having said that, it shouldn't make us feel relaxed. The oil security, oil supply is still a serious issue.
Let me ask you the last question. What is the price of oil that is needed by the oil industry to sustain necessary investments in the industry?
I think the different parts of the industry needs different parts of the different level of prices, but I believe the current prices, Brent about $65, is good enough for the investors to make investment for the new production. But the main challenge for many oil companies today is how to combine their investment plans with the demand coming from different parts of the population around the world to reach our climate targets. And I believe Saudi Arabia is one of those countries which will put emphasis on the clean energy technology such as carbon capture and storage, hydrogen, which is a great thing.
Mr. Fatih Birol, thank you very much for this interview.
Thank you very much.